So, I just recently got news that actor Dean Stockwell just died, supposedly on November 7th this year. Now, Dean Stockwell's been in many things, but what I know him from is the television show Quantum Leap. This is a time travel show. And in this show, there's two main characters. Dean Stockwell plays Al, one of the main characters. It's Al and Sam. And you can see I've screenshotted a comment I left about 5 months ago under somebody's Quantum Leap video. They analyzed the final episode. And highly recommend this channel, Finis Temporis. But I'll go over this comment, but I also want to show how the 326 code is continued with Dean Stockwell's death. So first let's get into this comment here. I wrote that 3/26 was the first episode. That's when it aired. And I'm sure there's something significant about the date. It was 1989, but you can see the air date is March 26, 3/26. Now there's a date at the top of the screen too. That has to do with what date they went back to. Like I said, this is a time travel show. Right now I'm just focused on the 326 code. Very first episode, called Genesis, aired on March 26, 3/26. And I'll show you the date, the air date of the final episode, and how that was a span of 326 days before the next year's 3/26 date, March 26th. So as you can see on the screen, the final episode. It was called Mirror Image, and this episode aired on May 5th, 1993. So if we use that as a starting point, again, that was the air date of the final episode. Going forward, a span of 326 just so happens to bring us to March 26th, 3/26. So like I said, there's two main characters, the time traveler and his companion that's a hologram. The time traveler is Sam Beckett. That's the character's name, and he was clearly named after the famous writer, playwright, Samuel Beckett. And we're going to find out that the fictional character Sam Beckett was born 3 months, 26 days after the anniversary of the birth of the real-life novelist Samuel Beckett. So here's the character shown on screen. Dr. Sam Beckett, Dr. Samuel Beckett, born August 8th, 1953. And you could verify this if you just watch the very last episode, Mirror Image. You don't have to watch too long to find out that this takes place on his date of birth. So if we use his date of birth, August 8th, 1953, and go backwards 3 months, 26 days, that brings us to April 13th. And so that was the anniversary of the birth of real-life novelist Samuel Beckett. So just to recap, then we'll move on. 3/26, the very first episode aired. The final episode aired a span of 326 days before the next year's March 26, 3/26. The fictional character Sam Beckett was born 3 months, 26 days after the anniversary of the birth of the real Samuel Beckett. And I just told you about actor Dean Stockwell. The other main character of this show is Al. Al is played by Dean Stockwell. Dean Stockwell died November 7th, supposedly, and if we go forward 3 months, 26 days, that brings us to March 5th. The anniversary of Dean Stockwell's birth, March 5th. So, he died 3 months, 26 days before what would have been his next birthday, 3/26. Now, I realize this bit seems like a stretch to some, but just as a segue, we're going to say that Belisario, with all capital letters, equals 326, and this is the creator of the show, Donald P. Belisario. So all caps, his last name equals 326. So according to Wikipedia, Belisario was born on August 8th. just like the main character of his show. The main character, Samuel Beckett. Dr. Samuel Beckett, born August 8th. Just like the creator, Belisario. And remember I said that the character Samuel Beckett was born 3 months and 26 days after the anniversary of the birth of the real Samuel Beckett. Well, I got another 326 for you. If we look at the date of birth of the real Samuel Beckett, remember that was April 13th, and the year was 1906. This is important because leap years will throw this count off. So if you ever hear someone on a video like this talking about the day count, it's 326 days this way or that way, and you verify it yourself, make sure you're looking at the right year. Because sometimes, like I said, it could be one off or whatever, depending if it's a span of days or whatever. But also, like I said, the leap year will throw this off. So, from the date of birth of Samuel Beckett, the real Samuel Beckett, April 13th, 1906, going forward 326 days, that brings us to March 5th. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned before that Dean Stockwell would eventually be born on March 5th. So, I'm sure I'll do a follow-up video on this, but I just wanted to show that the 326 code continues with Quantum Leap. And as you can see from this comment, this is something I talked about like 5 months ago, or at least 5 months ago, under Finished Temperous's Quantum Leap episode. I'll leave a link for that in the description. But yeah, rest in peace, Dean Stockwell. He died 3 months, 26 days before what would have been his next birthday.